Earlier this week, I burned up the motor on my SCX24 there, and the Enduro 24 in the background here just doesn't climb well. It's excellent on 2S for trail running because it's incredibly fast, but this one's had a burned up motor and there's none available. A guy named Kenny is sending me a new one. I really appreciate that. In the meantime, I missed crawling, so I went to Hobbytown today and bought a Deadbolt. I intended to get a Jeep, but they were completely out of Jeeps, so I got a Deadbolt instead, and I didn't want to buy another C10 because I already had one. So, not that I keep the bodies anyway, but this one earlier today was bone stock, and since then a few things have happened. First of all, this is how you put in a PN70 race motor from a Mini Z. It's out of a car like this, and it's got a 24,000 RPM motor, and it's quick. You can see how it mounts in the back there. But I'm hoping that it works out really well in this truck. I bought one of the Shapeways 3D printed motor mounts. And in order to put this in, first thing you'll have to do is flip the skid plate around backwards, because as you can see, the motor is going to come out the wrong way if you didn't start off with a backward skid plate. And also, you're going to have exposed gears from now on. It took me a while to figure this out, but the flat side is not the side that the motor mounts to. There's not enough space there. It mounts on the side that has the ridges. I don't know if you can tell, but it does go on really nice. I got the Velcro there to mount the battery. I tried to put it on the battery tray here where the battery used to be, but for some reason it doesn't want to do that. These posts get in the way of the back. The other thing you'll need to do is have a gear. The pinion gear is the hard one to do. I modified it's supposed to go on a motor with a smaller drive shaft, so I had to open that up a bit. And the other thing that is interesting about this build is the SCX24 ESC has reverse polarity for the motor, so you're actually going to hook the red wire onto the negative side. Otherwise, it's going to run in reverse. I don't know why they do that, but they do, and it's not a big deal. But I basically unsoldered the wires from my Barrage motor and put them right on here. Maybe it's not reverse polarity. Maybe the Barrage was reverse polarity, but one of them was. And if it runs the wrong direction, just put the leads on backwards. It's no problem. But this thing is quick. It's got a lot of torque. It is a bit noisier. This is not as fine of a gear mesh as the stock one, and you can really hear it when you're driving it. At first I thought that I was experiencing an issue with the gear mesh being too tight, but it just has to do more so with how it goes together and how it tracks against each other. But this car will eventually end up being a monster just like my others, although for the first time I might just keep the Deadbolt body just to have something that resembles stock. It'll get big tires, it'll get wheels, well, here's the other thing I did do to it as well. I've already high clearance the rear suspension links, so when it sits flat, they are completely tucked up. There's not a bit of link that hangs down, and it does not interfere in any way with the other links. They're far apart, but all it needs to do is just have a bend at the end, and it keeps them up. I did a video earlier on how to do it. Basically, I'll nail the link down on both sides and cover the majority of it up with tinfoil, and then I'll just get that part where I want it to bend hot with a heat gun, it'd be really easy to melt right through it, so you got to be real careful with the heat. But this little bend here, I've done it to front and back on this truck, and it's amazing. Nothing nothing hits the links. In fact, they're at a negative angle. They stay clear away from the terrain at all times. But this one, as you saw earlier, it's completely flat on the bottom. There's no links that are going to hit anything. So that's a good start for day one. It does run and drive, and I'm very happy with it. It's a 24,000 plus RPM motor, and it's going to have all the power and torque it needs, and I don't think I'm going to ever have to replace that motor. The PN70 is solid. Even if I do eventually, you can just replace the brushes. So I look forward to more updates, and wheels and tires on this thing are going to make it awesome. I'm probably going to trim the body when I get the mudslingers on it, but that's okay. It'll just get a little bit lighter on top. Anyway, that's all for tonight. Hope you enjoyed the video. I've got one more. It's coming up. Basically, maybe I'll just say it here. When you get your stock motor brand new, this is the one out of the Deadbolt that came today. When you get that stock brand new motor, the first thing you should do is take it apart and tear the sticker off. That sticker is a blanket that will hold heat, and it will destroy the motor. I've heard that you can get a lot more longevity out of your motor if you do not have that sticker on there. Because I don't know if you know this, but paper is an excellent insulator, and the last thing you want is something that is going to hold heat into this motor. I may even put some type of a heat diffuser on it, something with maybe a rudimentary cooling fan, and that'll be another video. But I've done it before on the Mini Z's, and it works beautifully. I might try it on this truck too. But anything to keep these motors cool is what you've got to do. That's really all for tonight. I hope you enjoyed the video.